Hello everyone, I'm Joe Ackourey and welcome to the Fly of the Week. For this episode, episode 78, I'll be tying a black deer hair beetle pattern. It's a traditional pattern in the sense that there's very little synthetic materials involved except for the white indicator so you can see the thing on the water. But it works great in the months of July, August, and September, and a nice dead drift with 7x tippet usually does the trick. So, without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, here we go. The black deer hair beetle. Start by placing your hook in the vise, making sure that the shank of the hook is relatively parallel with your tabletop, and begin to cover the entire shank of the hook with thread, wrapping slightly back into the bend. This is standard dry fly hook size 12, and I'm using black 8/0 thread. I'm going to wrap just slightly into the bend, just like that. So now, the first step to tying this fly is to attach the shell back, which is nothing more than black deer hair body hair. It's dyed black. I'm going to take about half a gap's worth and just kind of eyeball it with your hook, the gap, and just, yeah, that looks good. So I'm going to place the natural ends inside the hair stacker. These are the natural ends. These are the cut ends. And just want to stack it up a little bit. This is a very effective pattern. It's a traditional pattern, like I said, with the exception of the synthetic indicator, so you could see this bug on the water. But yeah, it works really well from the months of July, August, and September. So now I pull that hair out of the stacker. It looks pretty good. These are the natural ends, and here's the cut ends. What I'm going to do now is wrap to about the center of the shank of the hook and just kind of attach it in the center. Kind of crease it, put a crease in it. I always like to put a crease in my deer hair before I do the actual locking down. You can see how much deeper it goes, and the initial wraps are really tight into the, almost on the shank of the hook. So now I'm going to clip off this excess, and then I'm going to grab this bundle all together and wrap back. And I'm going to get a couple ends breaking off here and there, but I don't really care. You could just pluck them off or cut them off. So now I'm going to wrap back to that sweet spot. We're almost there. I can see a little bit of thread yet, so we need to wrap a little further back. Yeah, I want to get slightly into the bend, just like so. Okay, let's cut off some of these short ends that aren't going to be useful to us. There we go. Looks like a big mess right now. I just want to reorient my hook. I'm going to pull back, and any short hairs I'm going to get rid of. There we go. That should do it. Okay. So, we attached our shell back, which is made out of dyed black deer hair. Next, we're going to do the underbody. The underbody, I'm just using my rusty spinner blend, which imitates the belly of a beetle almost perfectly. So I'm going to dub this pretty heavy. Make your noodle. Slide it up. I'm going to wrap, getting it back to where the deer hair was attached, and just start carefully wrapping up the shank of the hook. Oh, about 70% up. And I'm going to put another layer. I want this underbody, so to speak, pretty thick, because when I pull the deer hair over, I want it to have that nice beetle shape to the abdomen, and you'll get an idea what I'm talking about in another minute or two. But yeah, just keep dubbing up your noodle let's get that back. Okay. Just a little bit now to bring up the bobbin up to the front. This should be definitely the last application I use of this rusty fur blend to build the abdomen. Okay, let's make a defined line there, making sure we have a good thread foundation. So now let's review. We have our deer body hair, and it's a little messy right now, but we'll clean it up. We'll make it look really cool. And I'll get that later. We stacked our deer hair, our dyed black deer body hair. It's got to be body hair because it's nice and hollow, and this thing will float like a cork for you guys. And then once we attach that, we started building our underbody for the abdomen. And the abdomen, I'm just using my rusty spinner fur blend. So yeah, that's it so far. So now we're going to gather all this hair up. We're going to keep it on top of that dubbed body as much as you can. Don't pull the hook out of the vise like I just did almost. There we go. Center it. And begin to secure. Focus your wraps. That should do it. Just get rid of a couple of these wild ones here. All right, that's not too bad looking. So now we finish the abdomen. And I think it looks pretty good. There's the abdomen cover. There's the underbody. It's got a nice transition there. So now we're going to take this bunch of deer hair and we're going to dam up some thread and prepare for the head or the thorax area. Yep, so you want this standing up nice and straight. So now we're going to take some more of that rusty spinner blend, and this will be this bunch of deer hair here that's left over will be used for the legs and the thorax cover. So now we're going to dub some of this rusty spinner for the thorax area and the head. We're going to slide that in position. We're going to pull our deer hair back and begin building up that area. Another application should finish this off nicely. So I know this fly works really well. Before, when I was a younger lad, so to speak, I used to fish a lot with this beetle in the late summer months, and you know, this fly rocked. A little bit of 7X tippet with, you know, we learned to put an indicator on there because it was so hard to see because it lays pretty much flat in the water, flush in the surface tension. It's hard to see. So we're going to integrate with this traditional fly a little bit of indicator. So let's get back to what we were doing here. I built up the underbody for the thorax. And now I'm ready. I'm going to bring my thread in front there. And now I'm ready to fan this out. And, you know, I'm going to push it down. I'll give you an idea what that looks like slowly. So it's all fanned out. You can see that. So now what I want to do is put my thumb on top, grasp it with my other hand, the bunch, and kind of get like maybe 3, 6, like 8 or 10 of those fibers on one side and 8 or 10 on the other. They're going to be the legs. So now I'm going to just carefully weave my thread in there so I don't catch too many legs, and attach that thorax cover with 8 or 10 good wraps, hoping I'm not going to catch too many legs in the process. I'm going to try to fold these back a bit. There we go. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then while holding that bunch of excess, you're going to clip off and leave a little kind of, I call it a tassel, just like we do with a caddis. We just kind of clip it off but not clean, and we kind of leave it there. Now I'm going to tie my knot. Oh, I'm ahead of myself. Almost forgot the indicator. I'm going to tie the indicator in. The indicator is nothing more than my sparkle yarn. I use medium done. It's only because the fibers are so much finer. And I'm going to place that right on top. I got to retrieve my thread because I almost made a mistake and tie the knot first. So let's attach it in the front, like so. There we go. Lock it in good. So now I'm going to go back and integrate that with the legs. Lock it in there. And then refan my legs back out. Clip off the excess indicator material. Okay, that looks pretty good. Stand our wings up straight. We're going to clip them the length. We want them about approximately the length of the shank of the hook. Fan them back out while holding on to your indicator. And then return your thread to the head area. I torqued down pretty hard on that and almost pulled the hook out of the vise. Tie your knot. I got a little bit of cleaning up to do. I'm just gonna push those legs down a little bit. But this pattern is a proven pattern in my book for sure. I mean, it's nothing hard to tie. It's not as durable as some of your foam body flies, but if you're into those traditional flies, this is one of them that works really well. Truthfully, it really works. I've fooled many a trout with this pattern. So now I'm just ready for a little drop of glue. And let's see if we can. There we go. I put that in the front and on the head there a little bit. Let me check those legs out again. Maybe just a little long. Guys, there you have it. The black deer hair beetle with an indicator. Good looking bug. Works well. A little bit of 7X tippet with this fly. You should have no problem connecting with some trout, some of those finicky trout in late summer. Hey, I want to thank you for joining me in this episode of the Fly of the Week. And if you like the content I'm pushing out, please hit the notification bell and be sure to subscribe. Tight lines, guys.